But we'll start with what have you learned in the last 24 hours or so about, I guess, his motivation to leave?
Hey, Michelle, I think, first of all, Magic Johnson didn't like doing the job, the requirements of the job, and the time you have to put into it. And I think the idea, too, of being unpopular. When you lead an organization, you've got to make tough decisions. Magic wants to be beloved. And I think increasingly, he didn't like who he was doing the job with. And I think all of those elements played a part. And Magic also saw coming down the road in July, there is not an easy path for this Laker team to really build a championship contender around LeBron James. And all of those things, and probably more and more we'll learn, inspired him to walk away yesterday the way he did.
So obviously we know how important this particular team is to the league. LeBron James, of course, being here just ups that factor. What's the reaction been from anyone in this league to all the chaos?
Well, listen, there certainly was shock, not just that Magic Johnson resigned, but how he did it, doing it publicly, with informing Jeannie Buss essentially live at a press conference that he had quit. And I think, listen, around the league, people know, executives, teams, owners, that the Lakers, if run well, if you have a great management structure there, they're the most dangerous team in the league. They're the place that, with all things being equal, players will want to come play. There's a sense of relief around the league when there's dysfunction and chaos in the league. It helps everyone else compete. And there's certainly around elite executives in the league, the idea that that Laker job may be open again, that's piqued the interest of a lot of, top-level league executives. The Lakers have never really gone outside their family to make a hire.
Let's just trip down memory lane, shall we? So one of the first moves Magic made, he shipped Lou Williams to Houston, who, of course, now Lou Will heading the playoffs with the Clippers. Lonzo Ball traded away D'Angelo Russell for Kyle Kuzma and Brook Lopez. Lopez also playoff bound on another team. And then he brought in LeBron James and a ragtag crew along with him, signed Tyson Chandler, traded away a very promising young center. The one that seems to be hurting people the most, and Ivica Zubac, and he's also just down the hall. Guys, I know this was interesting, and I thought somebody's phone had been hacked when this first happened last night, but how did we get here? How did we get here?
Well, I think two things, right? Number one, LeBron got hurt. They were fourth in the league on Christmas Day. They were on the trend up. They were playing really, really well. He went down. That was number one. And then before he comes back, they get into the Anthony Davis trade rumors that I think really rocked their locker room and the confidence of their young players. Put those two things together, they don't make the playoffs. To me, if they stay as a fourth, maybe even a fifth seed, we're not here right now. Magic's getting ready for the playoffs. He's a conquering hero, and everybody in L.A. loves him.
I mean, Woj said he didn't like the job. You know what Magic likes? He likes being Magic Johnson.
That would be fun.
It's fun being Magic Johnson. You walk around, everybody wants to dap you up. Like, everybody's like, Magic is awesome.
Your name's Magic.
You are a conquering hero around the world. He's a civic leader. That's a great job. And what's not a good job is having to work in the shadows. Like, the guy I saw last night in that press conference, that was Magic. I haven't seen that guy in 2 years because Magic has been muzzled because he's afraid of tampering. He's not, he even said to me, he goes, Ramona, I know you called me earlier. I want to talk to you, but every time I talk, I say too much.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what being an executive is. It's about discipline and staying on message and not saying too much and not tampering. And he wants to be free and he wants to be happy. The problem is you just left your sister, Jeannie Buss, who you call your sister, in a very embarrassing position right now.
It was
break up by text message.
Treated very well. Yeah, no, it was one of the worst. It's just a bad look all around. But does it say more about Magic, this whole thing, or does it say more about the team itself?
I would probably say Magic, based on obviously what Ramona's saying. I mean, he wanted to just get back to, he said, having fun. That was pretty revealing to me,
right.
And again, like, obviously I've never been there, Stan has, but that's work in there every day. That's work. And Magic is a guru, like he's a savant. Like this dude is. He said
ambassador.
He has built an empire. Those things take time and energy.
And I think he wanted to be like what he is with the Dodgers. He's a part owner. He shows up and sits in the owner's box.
But I'm sure that was
available.
available.
Goes on the field, talks to people. That's kind of what he saw this.
Well, why didn't he just take a consultant job?
Yeah.
That's the job he had. This is a job with more power. But power that he thought Rob Pelinka would go and do the day-to-day grind, and he could just kind of swoop in and help close free agents.
I just don't think he enjoyed the job. And I think it stems back to last year, I believe, when they didn't get even a visit from Paul George.
Right.
Then you go into this Anthony Davis saga, and I don't think he saw light at the end of the tunnel. If you strike out one more time in free agency this summer, then where do the Lakers go from there in the LeBron era? You know, because you expect nothing but championship runs when you have that caliber of a player on your team. And if they come away with nothing this summer, there was a lot of pressure on, if he was there, maybe getting fired.
Yeah, now he's not blamed. He washed his hands of the whole thing.